Good afternoon, students. We are back to the Rotary channel in which we are going to study the fifth chapter, that is yoga. Before going to the main topic, we'll see what are the topics that are covered in this chapter. The first one is meaning and importance of yoga. Second one is elements of yoga. The third one is introduction to asanas, pranayam, meditation, and yogic kriyas. Fourth one is yoga for concentration and related asanas, in which we are going to study Sukhasana, Tadasana, Padmasana, Shashankasana, Naukasana, Garudasana, and so on. And the last topic that we are going to study is relaxation techniques for improving concentration, that is Yog Nidra. So, in yoga, the history of yoga is indeed old. Nothing can be said firmly about the origin of yoga, except that it is originated in India, that everyone knows. The available evidence shows that history of yoga is related to the Indus Valley civilization. At that time, people used to do yoga. Usually, we depend on secondary sources to know about the history of yoga. On the basis of various sculptures and scriptures, we reach to the conclusion that yoga was a part of this civilization. Yoga is also mentioned in Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Upanishads. Patanjali also wrote about yoga in 1407 BCE. During this period, yoga had been developed significantly. Even Saint Kabir, Tulsidas, and Surdas had mentioned about yoga in their writings. Yoga is a large part of Indian culture. So, this was about a little introduction about yoga. Meaning and importance of yoga. So, we are going to study the exact meaning and from where it is derived. So, yoga is derived from the Sanskrit word yuj in verb form, which means to unite or to join. Yog is its noun form and means union. It is concerned with the union of the individual soul with the absolute or divine soul. It is a science of development of an individual's consciousness. Yoga is the unification of Atma with Paramatma. It also means the unification of physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual aspects of human beings. There are various definitions that can be beneficial to understand what yoga is, in which first is checking the impulse of mind is yoga, which was said by Patanjali, whereas yoga is attaining the pose, which was said by Maharshi Ved Vyas, whereas yoga is spiritual Kamadhenu. Swami Swarupananda said this definition. The knowledge about Shiva and Shakti is yoga, which was said by Agam, whereas oneness of man with God is known as yoga, which was said by Sri Bharati Krishna Tirtha, whereas Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that skill in actions or efficiency alone is yoga. These are various definitions of yoga which was said by different great persons. The sub-point after meaning of yoga is importance of yoga. It is a universal truth that modern age is the age of stress, tension, and anxiety. Nowadays, most of the people are not leading a happiness and productive life. Their life is full of problems. At last, it can be said that everybody, whether he is rich or poor, is not happily in present life. Kin Hubbard had rightly said, it is pretty hard to tell what brings happiness. Poverty and wealth have both failed. Everybody is in hurry. Human beings have no time to think about their leisure. Everything is time bound and we are chasing the time. This makes us physically tired and mentally tensed. In order to get rid of physical fatigue and mental tension and stress, we have devised certain means. We attend parties and take drinks for relief, satisfaction, and relaxation. But instead of getting peace and relaxation, we suffer with more tension, stress, and fatigue. We further sink in various complex problems. That is why we are feeling prey to various diseases. At this juncture, yoga can be significant for us. We can get rid of stress related problems by practicing yoga. So there are some points that clearly shows the importance of yoga, in which the first one is physical purity. Internal organs of our body can be cleansed by various yogic exercises. Basically, there are three substances in our body: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. If there is a proper balance of the substances in our body, we may remain healthy. Neti, Dhauti, Navli, Basti, Kapalbharti, Tartak, etc. are the yogic exercises or shatakarmas that keep the internal organs of our body in clean state. For proper cleansing and purity of our internal organs, we should perform these yogic exercises regularly. The second point in importance of yoga is cure and prevention from diseases. There are various diseases which usually hamper the smooth functioning of our body. Yoga is not only protects us from many diseases but also cures them. Various yogic exercises increase the immunity power of an individual. If an individual performs yogic exercise regularly, he cannot fall prey to diseases. Vajrasana helps to control diabetes. Similarly, a large number of diseases such as bronchitis, sinus, arthritis, gastric, dis- menstrual disorders, stress, urinary disorders, back pain, etc. can be prevented as well as cured by various yogic exercises. The next is reduce mental tension. Yoga can help in reducing tension. It is a well known fact that most of the people remain under stress and tension. They do not get peace anywhere. They feel upset and disturbed in present day life. They think that money can bring happiness and peace to their life, but in future intensify their stress and tension. Pratyahara, dharana, and dhyan plays a vital role for restoring peace of mind. Makrasana, Shavasana, Shalbhasana, Suptasana, and Bhujangasana are beneficial for releasing stress and tension. The next point is healthy body. Everyone in this world wants to have a healthy body. Various yogic asanas are best suited to get rid of many healthy problems and stay fit. They make our body strong, regenerate, and it also improves flexibility. The fifth point is that it provides relaxation. Rest and relaxation are essential for removing fatigue. When we indulge in any physical or mental work, after some time we feel tired. At this juncture, we cannot do further work, so we need relaxation. Shavasana and Makrasana are beneficial for relaxation. Padmasana, Nadam Sadhana are good for reducing mental fatigue. The sixth one is it helps to maintain the correct posture of our body. Nowadays, postural deformities are common in individuals. We have studied postural deformities in the previous lecture. So, they are being cured by this yogic exercises. Without good posture, they are unable to do their work efficiently. They are not able to enjoy life. They usually put more energy in simple tasks. If we perform yogic asanas regularly, we can maintain the correct posture of our body. Vajrasana, Sarvangasana, Mayurasana, Chakrasana, Bhujangasana, Dhanurasana, etc. are not only preventive asanas but curative also. Though these yogic exercises, we can keep our body in high spirits. The seventh point is yoga can be performed easily. In present day of life, everybody seems to be in a hurry. Life has become fast. Every individual complains about shortage of time. To do an exercise other than yogic exercise requires enough time and money, whereas yogic exercise can be performed easily. These exercises can be done in a short duration and at any place. Moreover, this exercise can be performed in less space. The eighth one is spiritual development. This is the most important and a quite great thing. The yoga efforts can be made to attain spiritual development. We can have a good control on our mind by doing regular yoga exercise. If our mind is pure, we can make efforts to achieve spiritual health. Padmasana and Siddhasana are the best asanas for spiritual development. These asanas enhance meditation power. Pranayama is also used for spiritual development that brings peace in life. Increase flexibility. Flexibility is significant for every person. It makes the movement of our body efficient and graceful. It is also helpful in preventing sport injury. Various yogasana increases flexibility of our body. Chakrasana, Dhanurasana, which are the bending asanas, helps in increasing our flexibility. Muscle also becomes flexible by performing these asanas. The 10th one is reduce obesity. Obesity is a worldwide problem. Obese people fall prey to various diseases very easily. Yogic exercises can help in reducing obesity. For example, pranayama and especially meditative asanas reduce obesity. Research studies have shown that obesity is also caused by mental tension and stress. So, by reducing mental tension through meditative asanas, obesity can be reduced. The 11th one is, and the second last point is improves health. Yoga helps in maintaining and improving health by making our muscles strong and regulation other systems of the body such as respiratory system, excretory system, circulatory system, nervous and glandular system. It increases the efficiency of the systems in our body and thus improves our health. The last point is that it enhances moral and ethic values. Nowadays, there is a declining trend in moral and ethical values. By following the first two steps of Ashtanga Yoga, moral and ethical values can be enhanced. In fact, the practice of Yama and Niyama, such as non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, Swadhyaya, Santosha, etc., makes an individual strong and more mentally and ethically fit. It can be concluded that yoga is significant for mankind, especially in the present day. An individual can attain perfect health and can lead a happily if he performs yogic exercises regularly. The next important point is elements of yoga. Patanjali described 8 elements of yoga in Yoga Sutras. These are called eightfold paths or 8 steps through which ultimate goal of yoga can be achieved. That is union of our soul with the supreme soul. These elements of yoga are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. The principle of each element is important for attaining the goal of yoga. After getting proficiency in one element, we should proceed to the next element. The elaboration of this element is given subsequently. The first we are going to study is Yamaha. It is also called as Yama. It is the first element of Ashtanga Yoga. Through the practice of Yama, one can abstain from doing things that keep one's mind involved in the inevitable struggle for survival. According to Maharshi Patanjali, there are 5 yamas: ahimsa and non-violence, satyaha or truthfulness, asteya or non-stealing, brahmacharya and aparigraha. The brief explanation of yama is given as the first one is ahimsa, which is also called as non-violence. It means one must keep away from causing harm to other organisms or human beings. Anxiety, jealousy, hate, anger, and such types of negative emotions are included in violence. So we must remain away from these emotions. We must not injure anyone. We must not speak ill for others. We must not display any negative emotions There must they must love, affect, affection and regard for human beings as well as for the other creatures. The second one is Satya, which is also known as truthfulness. Satya is one of the important Yama. According to Satya, we must be truthful in thoughts, words, and we must not tell lies. We must abstain from falseness of any kind. We must not speak to others in deceitful manner. We must speak the truth at any cost. The third one is Asteya. Asteya means non stealing. We must abstain from it. Even thinking about stealing sometimes is wrong. So we should neither steal anything nor motivate others to steal. We should feel satisfied with what we possess. The fourth one is brahmacharya, not to take a diet that stimulates sexual desire, not to read pornographic or sex related literature, and not to indulge in sexual relationship, that is called as brahmacharya. We must keep the above points in our mind so that we can follow the path of brahmacharya. The last point is aparigraha. Parigraha means to collect money and property for self-interest, and on the contrary, aparigraha means to lead a life with minimum requirements. It is an attitude of mind that does not consider anything to be our own. We should not desire for physical pleasure, so we must follow aparigraha. The next point is Niyama. Niyamas are related to individual's body and sense. Niyamas are also ethical practices as yamas. There are five niyamas such as Saucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhayaha, and Ishvara. The brief explanation is of Saucha is Swachha means purity. We must be clean physically as well as mentally. We must keep our body clean externally as well as internally. A special emphasis is given to the purity of internal organs in yoga. For the purity of internal organs, there is six Suddha Kriyas or Shatkarmas in yoga, such as Neti Kriya, Kapalbharati Kriya, Dhauti Kriyas, and so on. The second one is Santosh. Santosh means contentment. We must develop a feeling of satisfaction in all the situations of our life. We must feel satisfied with that what we have God has given us. We should not obsess after desire. The third one is tapa. To endure the difficulties, obstacles, and complex situations easily in the way of attaining the objective and to go ahead continuously towards the goal is called as tapa. We should accept the conflicts that like pleasure and pain, loss and gain is in the same spirit. The fourth point is Swadeha. To study the great Vedas, Granthas, Upanishads, Yogadharanas, and Gita with the devotions is called as Swadhyaya. It is the first type of study. Second type of study is to study of self. To know what about who am I, what should I do, what am I doing, what is the aim of my life. The above two types of studies are related to Swadhyaya. The fifth one and the last point of Niyamaha is Ishvara Paridhana. It is the important stage of Niyama. To dedicate all the deeds to God is called as Ishwar Paridhanya. In such a stage, a true devotee thinks that whatever facilities and prosperity, such as body, mind, youth, intelligence, possessions, she surrenders to God and removes vanity, pride, ego, and other impurities from his or her mind. The next point after Niyama is Asana. After Yama and Niyamas, Asana comes on the third level. Asana means positions or postures. It also means to sit in easy postures. Due to its popularity, most of the people think that yoga is nothing but asana. They are never aware that asana is a step towards yoga. In fact, asanas are performed to keep the body flexible, agile, and young. Asanas also improves body fitness, reducing improper accumulation of fat in our body. There are various types of asanas such as corrective asanas, relaxative asanas, meditative asanas. This type of asanas have different types and effects on various organs of our body. These asanas activate the function of various organs. Asanas can be performed from young age to the old age without any problem. The next one is pranayama. Pranayama is the control of the process of breathing. It means that appropriate control over inhalation and exhalation. Basically, these are the three constituents of pranayams. Purkha, that is inhalation, Kumbhaka, retaining the breath, and Rechaka is exhalation. There are various types of pranayama such as Ujjayi, Suryabhedi, Shetakari, Shitali, Bhaskari, Brahmari Pranayam, Marucha, and Plavini. Pranayama helps in regulating the metabolic activities and enhances the function of heart and lungs. It also provides longevity to the life. Pratyahara. Pratyahara is the process of self control in which an individual is able to exercise control over his or her sense. Indeed, to control the mind and sense is called as pratyahara. Pratyahara, the sense no longer responds to the external objects that hinder mental concentration. The attachment of various senses such as words, health, beauty, touch, taste, smell, etc., diverts the individual from the way of self welfare. The practitioner of pratyahara starts feeling extreme pleasure in remembering God. The next point is dharana. Dharana is the concentration of mind. Generally, it is seen that the mind has tendency to get scattered, but if the scattered mind is brought under control and set to one focal point, concentration is said to be achieved. The focal point can be in center of the forehead or the navel of a pointed soothing light at a distance. Dharana is the first step towards samadhi. In fact, dharana is the mental exercise which enables a yogi to go ahead towards dhyan and samadhi. So now the next point is dhyana. Dhyana is the process of complete constancy of mind. It is a stage prior to samadhi. Generally, dhyan remains attached to our life at every moment. Whenever we perform any specific task in the family, it is usually advised to do that task with dhyan. Dhyan se karna is said by our elder people, but we do not understand its appropriate meaning. In fact, dhyana is complete concentration of mind over a period of time without any distraction. The next one is samadhi. The union of an individual soul with the supreme soul is called as samadhi. It is the last stage of yoga. Samadhi is also called the checking or destruction of all the impulses of mind. During the stage of dhyana, when the disappearance of self awareness takes place, the yogi or yogini attains the stage of samadhi. He or she begins to feel the real truth. He or she forgets himself completely. He or she begins to experience the divine pleasure. So, these were the 8 elements of yoga. In the next chapter, we are going to study about introduction of asanas, then yoga for concentration and relaxation techniques. Till then, take care. Have a nice day.